Hi everyone, it's Kerry and I'm here with Mosher, and I was chatting with her a little bit yesterday about something that is important to me and part of the reason that I became an advocate for women, which is women wanting to come into shooting, new to shooting, not necessarily wanting to come into gun culture per se, but women that are beginning to want to choose how to defend themselves with a firearm. And I'm noticing a few things. That range is hot behind us, just so you know. That I've noticed new, but I have a rare opportunity here at Kevin Dixie's train and learn event to have amazing people from all over the different genres of the gun culture to be able to ask this question to. And it's actually two questions. So I want to ask you, madam, because you clearly are a force in this, and because you're across many platforms, you're very successful. So let me ask you two questions. What do you think that the gun culture is doing right to bring women and to introduce women to firearms? Not necessarily the culture, but to firearms. And what do you think that they're doing wrong or could improve with?
Okay, so the first question, what are we doing right, is on two levels. Individuals in our community are very receptive to new members, if you will. We are involved in the gun culture for diverse reasons. And one of the great things about this event is being able to see how individuals, not in particularly your field or my field, participate in gun culture.
And there's a lot of women here, by the way. Like in terms of how many, it's like 25% of us were women or something like that here, which is kind of cool. Yeah,
and that's interesting.
Yeah.
Too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So on an individual level, we want people to come in, and there's a place for everybody's reasons too. Okay, there's a place for everybody's reasons. You don't have to. It's not like you take a bite of the cake; you have to eat the whole cake. You can choose which slice you. Well, it depends. Because, I like cake too. Okay, so on an individual level, we're very good at welcoming people in and, kind of helping guiding them along. And then in a bigger way, ranges, shooting matches, classes, events that are organized for new shooters are present, and they're exploding, I feel. And I can only give you what I see.
And that's what I want, absolutely.
I work at a gun range, and women are the fastest growing demographic in the firearms industry, and I hate to say the industry, let's just, in the culture, in what we do, and in participation of the Second Amendment as well. So some people get into it about diversity, why we get into it, what we're trying to accomplish. Some people just want to, shoot for fun. Some people are an advocate for specific subgroups. Some people, just need an outlet for recreation. Or some people want to, just participate in their Second Amendment rights because they can, and that's how we ensure its longevity, through participation. If you don't water the plant, it's going to die, okay? Yeah. So diverse. Everybody has a place. We're doing a good job, I think, on the individual level of accepting people, and then on a macro level, ranges, events, shooting organizations.
So for those women,
just polling. You're a woman, come shoot with me.
Yeah.
You're my friend, come shoot with me, come shoot with me, come shoot with me. So, is it NSSF that has a Let's Go Shooting? Hashtag Let's Go Shooting, NSSF, I believe. I really hope I didn't get that wrong, but that is our mentality. Yeah. Hey, let's go shooting.
Which you would say, would apply to, for most women purchasing a firearm are not wanting to come into the culture. Not necessarily in the beginning anyway, right? It's the, like in my case, I'm a single mom, domestic violence survivor. I decided I didn't want to ever have that happen to me again, so I chose to arm myself. Kind of a thing. So, and most women going in to purchase their firearm for the first time, that's who that is, right? It's not somebody going in to say, I want to go become a competitive shooter. Not typically their first time in, especially if they're over a certain 30, 40, moms kind of thing. Yes, I'm making a generalization, but I'm basing it on some statistics about who buys guns and where they do that. But and so you would say that these different avenues like ranges and stuff, that you're seeing that welcoming for those women too, not just women that want to.
Just think about the type of ranges that are being built right now.
See, where I'm at in Washington State, I don't get to see that as much. So this is great that I get this because we're a little more limited.
We're in a new era.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, gun ranges have been traditionally the hole in the walls.
Yeah.
That are dirty, dark,
Yeah.
like grungy,
Yeah.
old men's clubs. I'm just gonna say it, guys. Sorry.
It's true.
Okay. Sorry.
It's true.
And even so, and that's the way that they were perceived. Those are going away and being replaced by the new gun ranges that are more like country clubs. They are shiny. They are clean. They are family friendly, faith friendly. I mean, they are. That's what I'm seeing, guys. I can only speak to my experience. That's what I'm seeing. That's the new gun range. In fact, when I go out and I go to a different city and I find those little shops still exist. Yeah. But we've had a serious extreme range makeover.
That's awesome. See, and that's new to me. I wouldn't have necessarily known that. So
oh my gosh,
that's
you
great.
should see some of these palaces. I mean, I'm like, whoa.
Well, I know the Scottsdale Guns Club. I've not been there, but I know Scottsdale has the gun club, and it's it's very much like a country club from what I understand. There's a
it's
restaurant
the country club, and then of course there's that, but on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's only going to continue. So that we're doing right. Okay, that we're doing right.
So what do you think it is that where the gun culture can improve with introducing women to carrying firearms?
I think that it's all about education, but I don't see that there's a real lack of education because women are educating other women now. Mm-hmm. It's not so much just, okay, well, I need to learn how to conceal carry, so I'm going to go take a class. It's going to be taught by a guy who wears different clothes than I do and has a different lifestyle than I do and has different perspective and gear and gun choice and carry placement choice. Now I can I can find a woman instructor with that might be able to speak more to my specific needs anywhere. So I think on the education, it's good and it's only going to get better. The more, it's that trickle effect, right? The more it's you drop and then a wave, and it's just the more women come in, the more we start to educate each other and help each other. So I think we're doing good in that. We're going to continue to do better. If I'm going to have to pick out any negative thing, I really think that maybe it's just family feuding. That's the only thing that I can think of, is because we're really good at wanting people to come in, but then we kind of divide ourselves into those groups that make us so wonderful together. But we'll go, that's the tactical guy, or the tactical group, that's Hunters. The competition group, that's the hunter group, that's the
advocates.
They shoot at just Plinkett bottles in their at the farm, or those are the advocates, or those are the, and then we kind of start to pick each other apart. And we forget, honestly, join or die, okay?
Yeah.
Join or, to bring it back to the whole Second Amendment, but nobody can do what we want to do in our different areas and fields if we are trying to pick on other people. Like, we are stronger together. So I don't know, that doesn't really specifically answer your question for women. What can we do better for women? But honestly, we are driving the growth of this industry or this culture. We are driving the growth, and so we need to remember to respect each other. And that's all that I can say. It's not really an answer to your question, but that's the only negative thing that I've been kind of.
It actually is, seeing. And so interestingly, so I just met Corrine this weekend. Learned a lot. It's been wonderful being out here with her, even though I haven't spent a lot of time with her. What I have has been eye-opening and extraordinary. So new to this, and what I've become is the advocacy side. If you've seen, I know that you haven't necessarily, but for those watching, if you've seen any of my speeches, the last one I just gave at our state capitol was about that. So one of the first things that I did notice coming in is I'm going to use it for lack of a better term, but the fractures within the community, that it's not a cohesive community, and it's it's this group and it's this group and it's this group, which also breaks down into there's this type of group that doesn't like or doesn't encourage LGBTQ, or they don't understand urban community, or they don't understand women, and a lot of women think men are all misogynists, or whichever. So I actually spoke on that and about, look, the gun control advocates are winning because they have a cohesive message, and we see the broader picture. Yes, exactly. And so they are winning because they've got that marketing plan. So many people within the gun culture see it, but they still can't figure out how to solve that unity issue. And that has been one of the biggest things I've seen. Now here to that note about women, with women being the biggest piece of that, I think we as women can drive that a little bit more, because I mean, this will probably piss somebody off out there, but we, right, we're the unifiers, right? We're the home people. Like, women tend to bring that together. So we have a unique opportunity, being that fastest growing, to bring that message in, to try to create that cohesiveness. Like I mentioned, you know, that speech, I said, you know, guess what? Ultra conservative Christian white man, you don't have to agree with whether these gay men get married or not, if they still have the fundamental human right to protect themselves. Guess what, gay man? You need to not judge him and understand that he's here to help you learn how to take care of yourself. And it, you know, and I went on about, like, you know, black and white communities, right? It's okay to acknowledge that white men may not understand why black men or black people, you know, whatever, they have a different reason for wanting to arm themselves, and for black culture to understand not all white people are racist, and that they do want to understand. And there's some fractures in that I've known. And I mean, it went on, but I said, that's the biggest thing. So yes, I do absolutely see that one. That's a big one. But I think we as women definitely have the opportunity to make the quilt, right? Because that's a really good metaphor for it. Right? We're all of these beautiful patterns here.
We're gonna Betsy Ross
That's
this.
actually even better. Yeah, we should. Yeah, see, there you go. So I mean, we've got all of these beautiful different pieces, and we have patchwork of what this can be, and which is literally what we're kind of. That's what we are. We as America are. And there's nothing. Let's be real honest. There's nothing more American than the Second Amendment. I mean, honestly, there's very few.
Apple pie, baseball, guns.
And there's only 2 other countries that actually have it written in their constitution that citizens have the right to bear arms. Fun fact. So, so yeah, I think we've got that opportunity.
Yeah, I think this fractures that you're talking about, and sorry to make the video really long.
No, it's okay.
These fractures you're talking about, that's dividing us is the tool that the left, I guess.
Yes.
That's what they're doing.
Right.
It's and now that what is it called? Identity politics.
Yes.
We can't. It's like if we use that poison. If we take the poison, then we will be poisoned. We can't.
Right.
We can't think of ourselves like that, and that's how we defend against that tactic. Is we go no. We're all together here.
Right.
Okay. We're not going to fight amongst ourselves because that you want us to do that so that we're weaker, house divided, blah blah blah. I mean, we're weaker, and then you can pick apart each individual
and
section.
that's what they're doing
with ease, with absolute ease. But if we unite, you know this.
And not only uniting, but like uniting itself, right? Because metaphorically speaking, nobody lose their minds. The army is intimidating enough when it's big. It's even more intimidating and almost impenetrable when it has different factions in it that all have different skill sets, different talents, different whatever that they're bringing to the table. The LGBTQ community makes up, depending on the statistic you look at, 1 to 3% of the American population. And look what they've been able to achieve. Can you imagine that if we actually went out more like Pink Pistols does, or Blazing Swords, which I think is a super funny name, it just cracks me, Blazing Swords. Can you imagine that if we were a little bit, gun culture and those that don't necessarily accept the LGBT, because I've actually had people personally tell me that you know, white gun owners, like, they don't need them because they're mentally ill. Because there's still some of that out there. But every human being, the Constitution doesn't give us the right to bear arms. We are born with the right to protect ourselves. It's a fundamental human right. Our founding fathers knew that, and they made sure that they wrote that into our Constitution, that we have the guarantee in this country to be able to defend that right. And so we need to change that kind of paradigm. And it doesn't matter who you are. Every human has the right, the fundamental right at birth, to be able to defend their lives or their families. And the minute that we can get that, and you get those types of people on, you know, that can let that go, then we're in a position where we have these different mosaic, you know, the mosaics of the quilt pieces, and you all come together and stitch. Boy, and that's a strong place to be. So I love that you saw that, because that was one of the very first things, and I've been speaking very vocally about it actually. But I really laid it out in a couple weeks ago, because I'm like, why am I speaking at a gun rights rally about DV and guns? Because I could tell you this all day long. You get it already. So why not take this opportunity to put a call to action to the community about trying to, like, we all talk about it. Yeah, we need to unite, but you don't do it. You're still talking shit in the corner with your friends. Stop that and reach out to them.
Yeah, stop the negativity and start extending your hand towards each other in the community first, and as you're also extending outside the community, so that you don't bring in people from outside the community in, and then they go, oh, their house is messy, and then leave.
Right. I'm not eating the food in that place. Yeah, that's exactly it. So thank you so much. I love that. Obviously, that's how I feel about it. So I'm glad to see that you're seeing that as well from inside. You've been in, for a while. So I appreciate that. And thank you so much for your time. I know you're busy out here and everybody wants some of your time. So I appreciate you took so much of it to spend